Hello again, Brandon Carey with you once more, and we're going to continue the trial for the murder of, I forget the doctor's name is actually, Dr. Gray, I think? Anyway, people think Maya did it, and we can prove that they're wrong, so we're going to do that. Hold on. What is the victim's name? Turner Gray. Yes, Turner Gray. Gotcha. Yeah, sorry, Maya. Morgan framed you. Your aunt framed you. She's a bad lady. She's bad. Big bad. Oh, Francesca! What you doing in the prosecutor's chair? You're in the defendant's lobby. You're the prosecutor. Trying to take revenge on Nick. Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Ooh. Good point. We have a whole trial to worry about. Done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. My goal is to defeat you and let the whole world know of your defeat. Why? Whatever. Deflecting about her dad, I see. Deflecting about her dad. Let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then we'll know who the real winner is. It's all about winning to a prosecutor, of course. It's all about them dubs. That's alright. We'll kick her ass. We'll now reconvene. Had a motive? Probably. Probably. The car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Not your car accident last year. Felt like you wanted to, like, ask about my, like, motive. I, like, don't see the point in, like, bringing up the past. You please. Okay, okay. Like, I totally don't think it'll do any good, but I'll testify. That was, like, last year in May. Like, something really bad had happened at, like, my sister's clinic around then. And, like, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. I was, like, totally pooped too, so I fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, like, woke up because of a jolt, and, like, it was a sea of flames around me. I, like, opened the door and, like, got away. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows, day after day, last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging your sister. Those were merely rumors, totally baseless gossip. Yes, Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Which means I'll have to work this another angle. I have to figure out how to prove you're a fucking lying liar who lies. It was like last year in May. Hold it! Are you sure it was last year in May? Yeah, like, that was in May too. Like, the thing with all the patients dying was, like, May 2nd. And, like, our accident was, like, on the 24th. Alright. 2 accidents back to back. Do you assume it's just a coincidence? My sis was, like, totally tired, so that's why, duh. Really bad happened at, like, my sister's clinic around there. Yes, the malpractice incident where 14 people died. Yeah! What was the cause of the mistake? Like, I heard it was cause the medicines, like, got mixed up. Or your sister, Miss Mimi Miney? Like, no way. Dr. Gray, like, wanted to blame it on my sis.
Objection!
Nothing to do with our murder here. How? How is that not relevant? How is that irrelevant? It's a clear and present motive. Dr. Gray tried to frame her sister. Police report has already documented that it was entirely Mimi Miney's fault. As far as the real facts are concerned, Mimi Miney is the one who made the mistake. But, like, it really wasn't my sis. That is called a motive. That's an actual motivation. I don't understand what's going on here.
Hold it!
She was totally tired. You mean exhausted? Like, she had to talk to the police and, like, was being investigated, like, every day. It was, like, a totally terrible situation. No wonder that the car accident happened, huh? Why didn't you ask us places? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I mean, switch drivers. If your sis was so tired, then you should have switched with her. Ah, but, like, I don't, like, have a driver's license. Smiley. Please amend your testimony. Anyway. Word got away. I, like, didn't have my license, so I couldn't take over driving for her. How do you have a license photo if you don't have a license? Like, what do you mean? I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Miney? That's right. Yeah, I had, like, a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. What? Are you talking about that perverted fake clinic director? How did you know he was perverted? No one cares! Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November. What? November? This happened last May. That's a half-year lapse in time, Miss Phoenix Wright. What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright? Wait! This was on her at the time of the accident. She was in the hospital! She was in the hospital! This might not have a driver's license. Cry and my whip will accommodate. The license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would have, like, let me drive. Not you too. Why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... Calls for more detailed testimony, Miss Miney, if you please. I agree, Judge. Testify. Like, how annoying. If she just shut the fuck up, she wouldn't be fine. But she couldn't shut the fuck up. Oops, like, sorry, didn't mean to be mean. Lesson here. If you don't have to talk, shut the fuck up. I'm not a lawyer, but if you had a lawyer, they would tell you If you don't have a legal obligation to speak, shut the fuck up and ask for a lawyer. That's the goal. That's what you're supposed to do. She is now figuring out what happens when you don't shut the fuck up. Like you're supposed to. Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car. So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat in the that night, too. I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. I was, like, really close to getting my license. Elaborate! You mean by really close? Like, I had one of those permit things. I think that's what they are called. Permit? Wow, the big name lawyer boy doesn't even know what a driver's permit is. This lawyer never had a permit. Ignorance is to be whipped. Agreed. Idiot. So, like, may I continue? My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She valued cars? How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at, like, a drop of rain. And, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with dirty hands. Press harder. Why take such special care of the car? How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car! Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer? Phoenix, try asking something more significant, alright? What kind of car was it? She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. It was a new car? Yeah. She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. The UK? Were those her boyfriend's initials? And it was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive. The obvious next topic. Press harder. Your Honor, please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. Yes. Well, if you like cars that much, then that's not my point. I don't know what the point is either. Miss Marnie, would you please fix testimony? Sure, whatever. A totally special model from England. I want to say the newspaper clipping is the objection.
Objection!
Yes! Okay, gotcha. Miss Miney, do you remember this article? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it. But I opened the right door and, like, got out. That's correct, isn't it? Like, why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat? The left or the right?
Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side.
That would be if it were an American car, but it would be an opposite in a British car. There was some localization work on this one, I can tell. Oof. I guess that would be an easy fix localization wise. You just switch it from like an American car to like an actor from a different country. That's reasonable. That's reasonable. I could see how this would be localized pretty easily. Because this obviously would not work in Japan. Not in this exact manner.
Opposite.
The two of them are riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. Ah!
What do you mean by this?
Miss Miney, you said that you escaped the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Ah!
Order. Order in the courts. Order. Order.
Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. He said the person who was driving was her older sister, Miss Mimi Miney. He said yes, but that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, it looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. Dots, but there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Mimi or Mimi, who was really driving that night? Answer is the one person who had her driver's license, Mimi Miney. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive.
But you just said the witness, Miss Mimi Miney, was the one in the driver's seat.
Which leads to the next question. The next question? Who is the person in the witness stand right fucking now? What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. His real name is... Mimi Miney. Mimi Miney, that is your real name.
Objection!
Of all the foolish dribble. Then how do you explain her appearance? It's a severe facial burn when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of face reconstruction, surgeons use a picture. Reconstruction surgery. This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of her younger sister.
But Mimi Miney, she died in the car accident.
That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. Then the body they found at the crash site. That was the body of the real Eenie Miney. Isn't that right, Miss Mimi Miney? That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Miney. Her sister, Mimi, then stole her face and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Miney from existence. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. But there's a problem. The spirit of the nurse that died in the car crash. Mimi Miney. However, that would not be possible. Because Mimi Miney was still, in fact, alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening. At all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling. Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting the witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed.
Well, Miss Eenie, I mean Miss Von Karma.
Why'd you say my name just now?
Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness?
That's right. I admit it. My real name is Mimi Miney. The quack doctor. He got what he deserved in the end. I was so close to finally ditching Mimi, too. So close.
But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? Become your own sister?
I think I understand why. Hermione wanted her old self to disappear because of this.
Take that!
That's about the malpractice incident. He was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Miney. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Miney had a car accident in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in the incident and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all, the only way. She lost everything in that flames of that accident. Her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister.
Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination.
That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo? Becoming Eenie has been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling. The occult. I hate it. I hate it all. I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as... Why did Miss Miney choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Miss Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant Maya Fay. This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me! Franziska Von Karma! I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss Von Karma. How about you? Going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Okay, that might be a bit one. And one more for good measure! Poor Phoenix wrong. Phoenix, hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This core's a fraud, a sham. She's only 18. Give her a moment. Give her a moment. It's her first loss in 5 years.
Now then, it looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. So I will go ahead and pronounce the verdict.
Not guilty.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
Congratulations, Maya. Sis! Sis, and your impossibly big boobs! It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis! I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis, in my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right?
That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right.
There's one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if me hadn't shot Dr. Ray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. Hermione had planned to open the door to the chamber herself. And then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. Should have blended down the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya! Thanks! Looks like you bailed me out another jam.
And it will never happen again. We will never have to defend Maya Fey ever again.
Well, you know. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again.
Don't worry, I promise you, it definitely won't ever happen again. Never, ever, ever. Ever.
I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, and now my aunt. Hey, Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt did something so horrible. How should you help me and Miney with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Nick, please, I need an answer.
Take that!
Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into the Kurain village. And that person will be you, Maya. And? But if you weren't there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. What would happen then? The Branch family, my aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearls. Ah! It was done for her sake. It was also that Pearls will become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. As she was saying, I thought so.
Oops. Everyone knows Morgan Le Fay is evil. Date and time unknown. Detention center, solitary confinement, cell 13. Oh, holy shit. My precious Pearl. You were the only one suitable to be master of Kurain, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. That Maya Fey. But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. Well, that's not ominous at all.